DTVKPM kickstarts today. Public COVID-19 vaccination registration to open 1st of March. Hello and good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. You're watching Updates at Noon with me, Muhammad Amin Carlos. Well, Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin today launched a special terrestrial education TV channel, or DTV Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia, also known as DTVKPM. Well, the setting up of the special channel is aimed at easing issues and provide boost to the home-based teaching and learning, or PDPR classes, benefiting some 5 million school students nationwide. In his speech, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said DTVKPM would broadcast programs based on the ministry's curriculum and co-curriculum, as well as news on the world of education from preschool to Form 6, entertainment programs and student-generated content. In addition, lifelong learning content that focuses on good values and student character development will also be broadcast.
Saya yakin bahawa DTVKPM ini akan dapat membantu pelaksanaan PDPR, khususnya bagi murid yang tidak mempunyai akses kepada pendidikan secara dalam talian. Ibu bapa juga boleh meluangkan masa untuk menonton DTVKPM bersama anak-anak.
The channel, which kickstarts today, can be viewed through Channel 107 on MyTV, 147 on Astro, and NTV7 on TV Unify from 7 a.m. to midnight daily. The registration process for COVID-19 vaccination for the public will commence on 1st of March. And Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said the Health Ministry, the MOH, had identified several methods that the public could use to register, and it would also identify target groups to ensure they received the vaccination. Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham said there were 5 methods that the ministry had identified for registration, including using the My Sejahtera application, website or phone number. He also said the MOH had been preparing for the COVID-19 vaccination program since August last year, which also included the provision of infrastructure to ensure that the vaccine was received and stored safely. He also said the MOH was of the view to only conduct the COVID-19 immunization program for individuals aged 18 and above, even though some countries provide vaccine to 16-year-olds.
Ini adalah kerana daripada 16 tahun hingga 18 tahun tiada bukti yang kukuh menunjukkan vaksin ini boleh diguna pakai, tetapi mereka menggunakan andaian iaitu untuk 18 tahun kepada 16 tahun. Jadi kita patuh kepada kajian yang telah dijalankan dan juga melihat kepada keberkesanan dan juga kesan samping.
He said that if there were side effects of vaccine use, the MOH would record and report it to the World Health Organization, the WHO. Well, meanwhile, the Health DG has denied claims that asymptomatic patients are no longer being screened for COVID-19. Well, it said screening priority would be given to those exhibiting the symptoms first, especially those in areas where the number of cases were reportedly high.
Sebenarnya tak benar apa yang dikatakan kita tak melaksanakan ujian kepada kes-kes asimptomatik. Iaitu apabila keadaan contohnya di Sabah dan juga di Selangor, kita banyak kes. Jadi keutamaan akan diberikan ujian tu kepada kes-kes yang ada gejala. Dan kes-kes yang tak ada gejala, walaupun ialah kontak rapat, kita nasihatkan untuk diasingkan, tetapi keutamaan akan diberikan kepada yang bergejala dulu. Kalau kita lihat juga saringan yang perkeso kepada setiap individu, iaitu pekerja-pekerja warga asing, 90% pada saringan ialah yang tak ada gejala. Dan ada 10% yang ada gejala. Yang kes-kes yang positif, 90% tak ada gejala.
Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham added in other states, equal number of screening is given to both symptomatic and asymptomatic patients due to lower number of cases. He also said the COVID-19 screening for antigen rapid tests, kit or RTK antigens, and reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction RT-PCR tests conducted nationwide is still based on benchmarks set by the World Health Organization, the WHO. Well, the government has decided to extend the movement control order, the MCO, in several states for another 2 weeks until 4th of March. And Senior Minister for Security, Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, said the extension will involve Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, Johor and Pulau Pinang. Explaining further, he said other state and federal territories previously placed under MCO will return to the Conditional Movement Control Order, CMCO.
Manakala di beberapa negeri sedang khas bersetuju untuk menukarkan status PKP kepada PKP bersyarat PKPB di Kedah, Perak, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Pahang, Terengganu, Kelantan, wilayah Persekutuan Putrajaya, wilayah Persekutuan Labuan serta Sabah. Manakala Perlis, satu-satunya negeri yang kesnya sangat berkurangan dan akhirnya cadangan daripada KKM dan dipersetujui oleh mesyuarat, iaitu Perlis ditukarkan statusnya kepada PKPP.
However, he said there will be some restrictions under the MCO beginning 19 February, including the permission for eateries to accept dine-in customers based on capacity and 1 meter physical distancing. The 10-kilometer travel radius for MCO areas will also be lifted, but the ban on interstate and inter-district travel remain. Meanwhile, the CMCO in Sarawak will be enforced until 1st of March. And here's something quite unusual. Well, a total of 25 smoke hand grenades were found at the landfill in Felda, Kerana 3, Dungan, Terengganu. Well, Dungan District Police Chief Superintendent Baharudin Abdullah said the bombs were discovered by a garbage truck driver, who then informed the police. Well, Superintendent Baharudin said investigation at the scene found that there were 24 mini smoke hand grenades inscribed with DK and another unit with 518 Riot CS written on it, and they were placed in a brown box covered with 2 children backpacks. Well, he had checks made by his team found that the bombs did not have any serial number and were believed to have been made in South Korea. Well, he said the bomb is usually used during training by the security forces, and this device should not be in the possession of anyone. Superintendent Baharudin said the bombs would be disposed of by the Dungan IPD Army Mechanical Rifle Armament or AMRA unit at Lembah Bidong Shooting Range in Setia soon, and the case was being investigated under Section 8 Explosives Act 1957. Coming up next, Digital Economy Council to facilitate coordination among ministers and ministries' agencies. Well, the National Mineral Council, MMN, has agreed with a proposal to make the National Mineral Industry Transformation Plan 2020-2030 or TIM 2021-2030 as a new agenda for the development of the mineral industry in Malaysia. Well, Energy and Natural Resources Minister Dato Sri Dr. Samsul Anwar Nasara said the matter was agreed upon during MMN's inaugural meeting yesterday. Well, in a statement, the minister said the plan was aimed at developing an integrated mineral industry by transforming every level of the value chain and to ensure that the mineral industry can be developed holistically so as to provide long-term returns as well as become one of the main contributors to the country's economy. Well, held virtually, the MMN meeting was chaired by Senior Minister Dato Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali and attended by federal ministers, Mentris Besar and Chief Ministers. Dato Sri Secretary Dr. Samsul Anwar said 7 working papers involving several important policies related to the Mineral Industry Transformation Plan, standard operating procedures or SOPs for mineral mining and export, zoning of mineral areas and the sustainability of the mining and quarrying industry in Malaysia were presented at the meeting. Well, it said MMN also agreed on the SOP framework for bauxite mining and export activities and non-radioactive rare earth elements or NRE in Malaysia. The Digital Economy Council under the Economic Planning Unit, or EPU, was formed to coordinate policies related to digital economy, which involve various ministries and agencies. And in this regard, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Economy, Dato Sri Mustafa Mohamad, said it was appropriate for EPU as a federal agency responsible in planning the country's economic development for the medium and long term to make and present studies on the country's digital economy to facilitate the coordination. The minister said this council encompasses 6 clusters, namely digital talent, digital infrastructure, new technologies, halal economy, society and government. Each cluster in the council will be chaired by the relevant ministers with certain objectives to ensure that the government can achieve its intention to provide internet infrastructure and access for Malaysians.
Jadi blueprint digital ni akan menetapkan sasaran, ya. Umpamanya bila kita nak pastikan setiap rakyat Malaysia akan ada akses kepada setiap pelajar, ada akses kepada online learning, pembelajaran atas talian. Bila kita nak pastikan setiap enterprise micro negara kita ini ada menggunakan platform digital. Bila kita nak pastikan bahawa setiap pegawai kerajaan ada literasi digital.
Dato Sri Mustafa said this at TV1's Bicara narrative titled Digital Asas Ekonomi Masa Depan last night. He said the Digital Economy Council, chaired by Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, will see the launch of My Digital Blueprint Digital Economy Malaysia this Friday. This blueprint, he added, would have 3 phases: short, medium and long. Well, Kuala Lumpur City Hall DTVKL, in collaboration with Rapid Bus Sendirian Berhad, has further expanded the Go KL bus service by opening the 9th route known as the Chocolate Line to connect public housing areas with several strategic locations. Now, the free bus service involves a 14-kilometer route starting from Section 10 Wangsamaju Desa Rejang People's Housing Project, or PPR, Taman Tasik Sri Rampai, heading to the Sri Rampai LRT Transit Station and the surrounding areas. Well, according to Federal Territories Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa, the Chocolate Route, which involves Setapak Jaya 1A public housing, will also connect centres of public focus such as Medan Selera di Rejang, Masjid Abu Ubaidah and shopping malls such as Aeon Big and Wangsa Walk. He said with a frequency of buses every 15 minutes, the service was expected to benefit city dwellers to get to the LRT station and to the workplace, especially the B40 group. Earlier, the launch of the new Go KL bus line was done live online through DBKL's official Facebook platform. Well, the Sepak Takraw Association of Malaysia, or PSM, is admittedly worried that the national squad would not be able to bring back any medal if it is forced to send its under-23 squad to the Vietnam SEA Games in Hanoi at the end of the year. Now, PSM President Dato' Ahmad Ismail said the under-23 players are not prepared yet for that task at the SEA Games level, besides having no exposure in any domestic or rather international championships following the COVID-19 pandemic since last year.
Setakat ini keputusan kami, walaupun MOM belum membuat satu keputusan yang sah lah, kerana dia tak panggil mesyuarat lagi, kami tak dapat bersetuju dengan apa yang nak dijalankan oleh MOM. Hasratnya mungkin baik, waktunya belum tepat pada saya lah. Saya tidak nampak apa relevan dan kenapa harus kita bertindak terburu-buru.
He also pointed out that other countries like Thailand would definitely be sending their most experienced and best players to the biennial SEA Games scheduled for 21st November to 2nd December. He added that the nation's sepak takraw performance is improving and such decision will only hamper its progress. Dato' Ahmad Ismail, however, said if this decision will still be taken, he urged that a workshop be held, even online, to discuss the matter with all the national sports associations.
Well, we apologize for that mix-up. The DJ was pressing the wrong button. Anyway, that concludes today's edition of Update at Noon. In our top story, DTVKPM to boost home-based teaching and learning. Well, tune in to News at 10, coming up at 10 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM, or it's on my Freeview channel 123. Besides that, you could stream the news by surfing RTM's MyClick. Thanks for watching. I'm in Carlos, and do stay tuned to TV2. Good afternoon, everybody.